And welcome back to our special Rebuilding Mid-Missouri 1 year later. We're continuing to retrace the steps of that Jefferson City tornado. Now, of course, Jefferson City gets a lot of the headlines because they had the highest rated damage, EF3 rated damage, but this thing was on the ground well before it was in the capital city itself. It barreled right along Highway 54, but we'll step that back before it even had a tornado warning, and that was working its way through Morgan County and eventually touched down a tornado initially just to the west of the city of Eldon. This is what it looked like, though. 10:45, again, that's when the National Weather Service issued that tornado warning, that initial warning for this storm that ultimately would turn into the Jefferson City tornado. But again, it moved through Eldon initially, and what that did was it ultimately changed our tone the night of that fateful event. But we'll flip back over to those velocities. Again, those reds and greens, that's areas of rotation, and watch this really ramp back up. Those brighter colors start to show back up. That's when that thing was really starting to tighten up, and that was when the tornado was on the ground already, and we had confirmation of it that night. You see that dark blue? That's debris being tossed well over 10,000 feet up into the air, being picked up by that radar beam. And that ultimately, again, changed our tone that night, that we had a tornado on the ground and it was moving right along Highway 54. Putting those two together, we were able to give folks in Jefferson City about 30 to 40 minutes of additional lead time out ahead of this tornado warned storm before there was even a tornado warning for Cole County itself that night. So Eldon played a pivotal role that night as we continue to retrace those steps.